Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, accused Ariel Helwani of sending spies to his gym. Mendez made this statement after Ariel reported that Makhachev is waiting for the Bilal Muhammad versus JDM fight to play out. According to the coach, the reason Ariel seems to always have the inside scoop and report so quickly is that he has moles everywhere in the MMA world. This isn't the first time insider information has raised eyebrows when it comes to Ariel Helwani. In fact, Helwani's reputation for breaking news has led to significant controversy in the past. He was even fired from UFC press conferences back in 2011 after leaking details about Brock Lesnar's return and other major fights before official announcements were made. This kind of behavior didn't sit well with Dana White and the UFC brass, leading to a lifetime ban for the journalist. Helwani's knack for reporting stories quickly and reliably has certainly earned him a reputation as one of the top MMA journalists, but it's also made him a bit of a polarizing figure. Let's get into Javier's story.
And some people are leading correct, some people are not. Like, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You know, someone says, oh, it says on the Ariel Helwani show, he confirmed that the fight's gonna happen between this and that, this and that. You know, I go, oh, well, Ariel, how does Ariel get all this damn information? Like, let me give you an example about Ariel Helwani, how he has moles everywhere. You know, this guy's unbelievable. One day, so the guy was rolling around with Kane on the wall, and next thing you know, I go, oh no, Kane's knee went kaboom. And no more than 2 hours, I'm talking 2 hours after this happened, 2 hours, I get a call from Ariel Helwani. Hi coach, what's going on? Oh, nothing, Ariel, how you doing? He goes, oh, just calling, just seeing how things are going. I'm like, things are good. He goes, anything happened in the gym today? And I'm like, no, nothing's going on. And in my mind, I'm going, how the hell does he know?
In a recent episode of Weighing In Podcast, Big John McCarthy and Josh Thomson reacted to Ian Garry's win over Carlos Prates. The Irishman controlled most of the fight, showcasing his striking and calm demeanor inside the octagon. He was able to keep Prates at bay with his clean technique and great footwork, but man, in the final minute of the fight, Carlos almost had Garry's number. A huge shot rocked Garry and put him in a bad spot, leaving everyone on edge for a second. It was a clear reminder that Prates' power doesn't fade away in the 5th round. That moment shows that while Garry is clearly talented and on the cusp of a title shot, he's still vulnerable. But what's undeniable is that Ian's performance still solidified him as a legitimate contender. With the win, he's definitely very close to that elusive title shot. He's proven he has the skills and the mindset to be at the top of the division. The only loss the Irishman has in his career is against the undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov. Another thing worth noting is that Prates is the first fighter out of the Fighting Nerds camp to lose. That was a major topic of discussion because their team has been known for producing some serious talents. Let's get into what John and Josh have to say.
Overall, though, I was expecting more out of the fight itself, but I also took into consideration that, like you said, Ian Garry's a smart fighter. Yeah. He was going to wrestle a little bit. I thought he was going to have more success getting the takedowns. Did not. Prates has a very good takedown defense, especially when he kept going to the singles. I was like, why don't you change to the doubles? He's got you figured out in the single legs. When he did change to the doubles, he had a little bit more success, but even still had a hard time holding them down. Yeah, couldn't get him down. Like, Prates did a really good job of getting back up to his feet. Overall, though, I mean, it was a good fight. It was entertaining, especially the way it ended. So, and most people, like myself too, is I only remember the endings. It's like, that was the most exciting part.
Well, it made it exciting. So that's good.
Like, we've talked about this all the time where the whole fight card could be shitty, but if the main event's good, people forget about the rest of the card.
Yeah. It was a great night.
Yeah. It was awesome. Did you guys forget the other 14 fights that sucked? You know, but no, you just, man, what a great fight. That's all.
But it's also in reverse. You could have 14 great fights and the main event is a terrible snoozer and everyone goes, it sucked.
Aslanbek Badayev, the well-known Russian reporter from Chechnya, recently dropped a bombshell in his latest YouTube appearance. Known for his regular interviews with major stars from the Caucasus region like Magomed Ankalaev, Islam Makhachev, and Khamzat Chimaev, Badayev revealed some significant tension between the UFC and Islam Makhachev. He went into detail, sharing information that hasn't been publicly discussed before. Here's what Aslanbek said.
Поединком Ислама Макхачева и Илией Топурией
Now, the big news about Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. From what I'm hearing, it's being said that Islam is already facing pressure from the UFC, that they are trying to push him into taking the fight with Topuria. Islam doesn't want it, but it's obvious that the UFC is putting a strong focus on making this fight happen. Why? The UFC promised Ilia the immediate title shot, and now they're trying to hold Islam to it. Of course, as champion, Islam has the right to voice his opinion, but at the same time, it feels like the UFC will move forward with what they want regardless. Nobody can physically force you into the cage, but the UFC can steer things however they see fit. If Islam refuses, there's a real risk they'll introduce an interim title, or even worse, setting up Topuria to fight Oliveira for undisputed title. That's the kind of pressure Islam is under. I personally think Islam needs to accept whatever fight they offer, keep building his legacy by getting another title defense. For now, it looks like the UFC wants an answer from him immediately, even though it would make more sense to wait just a couple more weeks for Muhammad versus Madalena to play out. The UFC seems impatient. Islam himself has said that being a champion means being ready to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. But it's important to understand him too. He already fought a featherweight, Alexander Volkanovski, twice, doing exactly what the UFC asked of him. Now he's asking for his opinion to matter, but it's clear the organization isn't giving him much room to operate. I don't think it's worth going to war with the UFC. Islam still has a title to defend and a chance to cement his legacy. And honestly, the fight with Topuria is personally the most exciting one available. It would be an intense, toxic showdown. Tom Aspinall explains why the wait for a potential fight with Jon Jones could actually be beneficial for him. Despite frustration surrounding the delay, Aspinall admitted that he has been dealing with ongoing health issues that have kept him from being fully active. The interim heavyweight champion shared that he's had more health setbacks this year than ever before, revealing he's been battling a persistent illness since before Christmas. He mentioned dealing with viruses and skin infections, including ringworm, which have had him bedbound at times. Although he noted that he doesn't typically talk about personal struggles as a professional athlete, Tom acknowledged that the extended break may have been a blessing in disguise. His body hasn't been at its peak, and now that he's getting to the root of his health issues, he's hopeful that he'll be back to his best when the time comes for a major fight. Aspinall's dad also vented in a recent video, expressing frustration over the financial impact of the fight delay. However, despite the setbacks, the heavyweight is optimistic about his future and is ready to return to the octagon when he's fully recovered. Dana White remains confident that Jones versus Aspinall is a fight that will happen despite any rumors or speculation. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for your daily dose of MMA news.